John Luss here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Got another really cool broadhead to test here today by SWAT broadheads. This is their hybrid. All steel, nice big cut, 4 blades, can be used either as a fixed blade or as a hybrid. And I really like that SWAT is veteran owned and veteran operated. What's not to love about that? So let's zoom on in, take a look at some of the design features, and then put this hybrid to the test. Here you get a good look at the head close up, both in the open and in the closed position. The ferrule is a hardened steel, and the blades are 0.036 inches thick of a hardened stainless steel. The cutting diameter is 1 3/16 inches for a total cut as it passes through an animal of 2 3/8 inches. And as you can see, it's got a really short overall profile, one of the shortest of any of the broadheads that I've seen. And it's actually even shorter than many field points. That's going to aid in flight tremendously. I can imagine with this profile being so short and the blades extending back over the shaft like that, and the blades being relatively narrow, the fixed blade head is going to fly really well, I would imagine. I haven't tested it yet, but if you want to, you can put it into the mechanical position like that. And what you do in order to do that is you see these little set screws at the base of each of the blades. You loosen them up a bit, and then you just slide the blades forward up here, and they all close, and that O-ring at the base just becomes the retention ring and holds the blades securely in place. And in the closed position, they are very secure. There's no rattling, there's no movement. That's not going to open prematurely, even out of a crossbow, I'm sure of that. And the way it opens upon penetration is you get tissue pushing back on the blade tips right there, as well as on these hooks at the blade ends. And so all that pressure pulling back there is going to force these blades back, and then they're going to be into their full position like that. Now, it's not considered a barbed head because the blades retract if you pull them out of a target or pull them out of an animal. You see how they retract back like that? So they're not considered barbed. Now, I can imagine that it's going to fly really well in the open position. So personally, I wouldn't see a reason to shoot it in the closed position. However, if you have a bow that's not well tuned, or you're shooting at super long distances, or in a heavy crosswind, maybe out of a really high-speed crossbow or something like that, that you got to maximize flight, then surely you can put it in the closed position, and then it's going to be extra forgiving. Now, I'm eager to put it to the test. I'm going to be testing it with my Bowtech SR6, set at 72 pounds, 27-inch draw, and I'm using 460 grain Bishop FOC King arrows. I'm going to first test for edge sharpness and retention, edge retention, and then I'm going to test it for long-distance flight, for penetration, and for durability. Let's see how the SWAT hybrid performs. What was that? Out of the box sharpness. 1 stroke of the arrow. 2 strokes of the arrow. 3 strokes of the arrow, 4 strokes of the arrow, 5 strokes of the arrow. Okay, the SWAT hybrid cut paper after 4 strokes of the arrow. The SWAT hybrid penetrated 7.5 inches. Now I'm going to test the opening of this head. It's in the closed mechanical position. I've loosened the screws, and I've got a thick piece of leather followed by an empty cardboard box. Here's the entrance of the hybrid on that thick piece of leather. And as you would expect from an over-the-top deploying broadhead, the cut is basically just the cut of the head in the closed position, and according to my measurements is 9/16 of an inch by 9/16 of an inch. Here's the exit of the hybrid on the back of the box. And I measured this and it came out to 1 inch by 1 inch. Here's the head after 3 shots into the steel plate. And first of all, you notice that it made really nice holes. You see that round ferrule, that thick ferrule, made a really nice hole in the steel plate, each of these shots. And then you can see the 4 nice cuts protruding off of that. Now, on the 3rd shot, you can see that it broke one of the blades right there. And you can see that blade embedded in the steel right there. That's right where it broke off. Now, interestingly enough, the other blades are all in really, really good shape. I mean, their edges are not even nicked. They're not bent. They look like fantastic. But that one did shear off on the 3rd shot. So what'd you think of the SWAT hybrid? Man, a lot to really like about this head. They've done a great job, and I love the flexibility of being able to use it as a fixed blade or as a mechanical. So you can check out the score sheet and see how it compares to other heads, but this is something definitely worth checking out. Great job, SWAT.